although it pays homage to a lot of those older films, the things that I grew up with, Sam and I both, I think, liked, the Outlands and Silent Runnings and Aliens. It tries to bring something new to it. It's a very human story, so the technology sort of plays second place to the more human elements. And it's really, it's a very universal human question about, if you met yourself, would you necessarily like yourself? You may not always appreciate the good things about yourself. You may only see the faults. And I think in our film, the character of Sam Bell does have a very literal opportunity to see himself face to face.
Anytime you've been away from home and you or been at summer camp or something, and you're like, I think anybody can relate to the feeling homesick. And I think it's just like Robinson Crusoe. Before
we did the shoot, I do my big name drop here, but I had a chance to talk to Spike Jonze, who did adaptation. So he gave me a few, ideas on how they were able to do what they did, and that was incredibly useful.
There was a couple of tips a couple of things he said, right?
It was about sort of breaking down the scene, working out who leads the scene, and then just nailing that, choose your take, and then you kind of work from there.
I mean, Duncan and I think sometimes we just look at each other and we're like, wow, this is crazy. I mean, it was just, it was stressful because we it was always like, is this going to work? And it somehow it did work because, well, we prepared a lot. He came to New York and we got my friend Yule and we would read both parts and we would switch off and we'd improvise and then Duncan would make suggestions and so we sort of collaborated and did a lot of preparation, but
I think we felt ready, but until we saw it, because I remember the very first time we actually had a shot, even roughed up, where we could see you and both the Sams performing, and all of a sudden it was like, it's going to work.
Dead Ringers was very helpful for this.
Yeah, the Criterion edition. Because it breaks down the entire how they did it. So it was like the manual for us.
Yeah. A lot of people were saying you're not going to be able to ad lib. You're not going to be able to ad lib. But that's not true. You can ad lib, but it's not easy. You got to know what the ad lib is ahead of time.
It's the timing, isn't it? You got to know your timing. It's all about the timing.
Yeah. And that's what our sound guy was able to give me on the iPod. He would give me the takes. Well, I think in any drama you have to have the light with the dark. Otherwise, you can't just have a whole movie of darkness. I mean, the movie, I think Duncan and I both agreed, the movie is so dark as it is that we had to get the audience, we had to pull the audience in a little bit with some humor.
We knew we had the action and we knew we had the spectacle of it, but I think you really very much brought that to me and explained to me and helped me understand just how important it was to have the lighter moments in the film, and in rehearsals we kind of found ways to bring that out in different places. I think in a way you also let your defenses down a little bit because it's science fiction, so you kind of accept it and you let the sort of other sort of human themes hit you without feeling like you're watching some sappy film that you don't want to be there, because it's a science fiction film and there's always going to be something to keep you engaged, but you can still tell a very human story. You can still talk about things you might not otherwise be interested in.
It was really surreal. I mean,
I just kind of threatened you off camera with a rifle.
Yeah.
Created the stress.